Hi, I'm Keith Allen, and I play Murphy on Z Nation, and I listen to One Up Gaming Podcast.
Hi, I'm Lucy James, and I listen to the One Up Gaming Podcast.
Yeah, this how we do it, y'all. L-G-E, man.
Straight out of Diamond Star Production.
What up to you, One Up Gaming? They're not really ready for this one. One Up Gaming is behind me. Let me get in beast mode. If you wanna try me, you don't need a cheat code. Conte is who I be. To you is Mr. Hero, legendary adversary. Flows considered lethal. I'm a Super Saiyan. I got Dragon Balls. I wouldn't lie. You might think I'm playing when I'm saying I can really fly. When I'm on the track, you feel the energy I'm pushing out. Put me on the map. One Up Gaming's who I'm talking about. I'm the rapping Master Chief, epic to say the least. Contain the hero, better etch that in your memory. And so the One Up Gaming for the show out. Contain the hero is really gonna show out. Show out. Contain. And so the One Up. And so the One Up.
Dope bitch you ever heard.
And we're back. It's One Up Gaming. It's me, David, and it's Mr. Eddie.
Yes, I'm doing this again.
Yes. It's only been about 5 years, but you know, who cares?
I'm never gonna leave. I'm here for life.
Oh well, that's good. At least someone is. So, anyways, episode 227. We've not really been doing many podcasts in the last sort of couple of months. Well, probably last year, to be honest. But hopefully now I've got things sorted. I've got my little room sort of sorted, so that's all set up now. So it's just trying to find days and times with the rest of the guys when we can all get together and record. But hopefully moving forward we will start to get more things organised and done. So yes. So what have you been doing, Mr. Eddie?
I have been playing video games and nothing else really. I've been silent. I have been playing some games. I've had a mental struggle with myself trying to choose whether or not I should buy Forsaken, and I've basically just landed on I'm gonna wait a couple months before I touch it because everything that Bungie has touched so far has turned to dirt. So yeah, I'm being very cautious. But in most games, I'm trying to figure out what I should pre-order, what I shouldn't pre-order, what I should buy, what I should buy. It's a very annoying process.
I don't think I've ever pre-ordered a game in my life.
I don't know, because there are games I want to pre-order. There are games that I want to get, right? There are games I want to get first day straight away. But I do not think... But I think there are so many games now that go down this, that are going to start going down this thing of, oh, the game's going to come out broken and we'll fix it later, but you have to pay for the fixes. Like, if one of the game's major problems is a lack of content, then you're paying for you're paying to fix that issue, which I think is just really fucked up. Like, imagine that. Imagine that in any other industry. In any other industry, like in film, where the ending is the problem, and they're like, if you want to see the ending of this, if you want to see the improved ending of this film, you have to pay for it.
Eddie,
people would lose their mind.
They do that.
Fuck off. No, they don't.
They have the cinema release, and then like a year later they have the
director's cut and shit.
The director's cut and that, yeah, and they add little scenes in that were in the movie.
Yeah, but that's adding little scenes. Like that's like adding little scenes. That's completely different. What I'm talking about is literally like, oh, while you're watching this movie, the entire last 20 minutes of the movie just fizzled off. But in games, just like, oh, no, you're gonna have to pay to fix that. Like, we're gonna sell it to you. I don't know. It's kind of weird because it's like there's a lot of things that the gaming industry can do that not a lot of industries can do, and I think one of them is they can take advantage of their customers a lot more than any other industry.
Yeah, because they know the customers are stupid and retarded.
Kind of, yeah, because like when you look at Destiny, right? When Destiny 1 came out, everyone was pissed because the game was basically trash. I remember I played right at the beginning. It was horrible, but I bought it because it was Bungie. Now, it was a piece of shit, and it got better over time, but it was a piece of shit for a very long time. Now, people are usually like, we were just like, oh, it's their first time making a game like this, so, we'll cut them some slack. Like, you can't expect the first game to be a home run. So, we were like, alright, cool. We wait for the second one, see how they do with that. Destiny brings out Taken King, they bring out the House of Wolves, all their different DLCs that they brought out. I can't remember all of them. And then when Destiny 2 comes out, they do the exact same thing again. They leave the game broken and barren, and then make you pay for the fixes. So you can say like, oh yeah, but they have free updates, and there are things in the updates that are for everyone. True, but let me ask you this: buy Destiny the base game without the DLC, any DLC, and play the game, see how far you get, and then tell me if it's a good game or not. Because I will tell you right now, base Destiny 2 is trash. With Osiris and Warmind, it's still shit. So whether someone turns around and says, oh, well, it's just par for the course, it shouldn't be. Just because something seems like it's normal doesn't mean it should be. This is basically telling every other industry you can nickel and dime and bullshit your way out of any situation. All you need is enough of the community's trust. And I think that's a bit worrying. That's like, I think it might just be me, but it sends off alarm bells in my head when that type of shit happens.
No, you're right. It's a bad thing to get into when, as you say, you buy a game, and it's just the game might play well, but if it doesn't have enough content to keep you going, and then every 3 to 6 months they add like an extra 3 or 4 levels in, it's just not right.
And that's what I'm saying. Alright, so Destiny 2, right? They have Forsaken coming out. You are paying the price of a full game for Forsaken by itself. For the DLC, you are paying the price of a full game. That should not be a thing. That's not okay. That's not okay. I don't care if they did it with Taken King. I don't care if they did it with House of Wolves or the fucking one with the Lords of Iron. I don't give a fuck if they did it before. That should not be a thing. You should not be paying the price of a full price game. For fuck's sake, with the amount that I pay for Forsaken, I could literally buy another game. I could buy another 2 games maybe. That's insane. That shouldn't be a thing. DLC's added on. It's not its own separate thing. It is added on. It's a add-on. Yeah? Before it was downloadable content, it was called an add-on. It is a add-on. It should not be priced as a full price game. It should be the price of an add-on. DLC that is over 20... I think DLC that's over like £20, maybe, is too much. That's too much. You're at that point, you're just trying to fuck with me. Like, you're literally just saying you don't care, you want your money. That's literally it. Because I don't want to hear that, oh, games should be a certain price now, so hence why DLC is expensive. I get that. I get it. But fuck you. Because let me explain. Every single industry has gone through this. Every single one. Every single industry has had their prices rise ridiculously high. But every single industry has worked to keep their prices as low as possible. Yeah? Because do you think movie tickets are supposed to be this expensive? No! No, they're not. But cinemas are greedy as fuck. And hence why people are now turning to Netflix and shit. Pirating's one of the is probably the biggest way people watch movies now. And I think that's what the gaming industry needs to get into their head. The moment it becomes feasible to pirate an always online game, it's over. It is over. No one will ever buy a game again. No one will ever buy a game again because there will be no reason. I will never have a reason.
load of original Xbox games.
Yeah, but that's you. That's just weird. Like no one has. Who still has their original Xbox? Who still has their original Xbox? Shit.
I also just got delivered 3 steering wheels.
Oh my god, why?
Because I had to get one for the Xbox, one for the PS2, and the other one's for the Sega Saturn.
That is sad. You don't need that many. One, you don't need that many steering wheels for anything. There will never be a time where you.
And
I've
got
have
one
like
for the PS4 over. As well.
Oh my god!
And I've got one for the PC, another one for the PS1 up here, one for the 64 up here as well.
That is terrible.
Not that bad, is it?
There's never going to be a time when you're going to have 7 friends over and they're going to be like, hey, we all want to play racing games on these consoles. Do you have a steering wheel? That's never going to be a thing.
The only other problem is I've only got 5 TVs, so 2 I'd have to sit and watch.
That's... Oh my god. That's really bad. That's really bad.
I get bored.
But this is what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know. The gaming industry to me seems kind of silly now. Because you have Bethesda, because I think it's always been this way, where Bethesda was releasing games that were basically broken and then mods would fix them. And then now you have Destiny or Bungie who's releasing games that are basically broken and then they are nickel and diming their community to fix the games. And it's so sketchy. It's like a really shitty thing to do. Because it's like, again, if this was any other industry, people would be losing their minds. But because it's games, because it's gaming, no one's paying attention, no one really cares. But if you went to a car, if you went to, I don't know, buy a car, and they were like, hey, we accidentally left the door off, you're gonna have to pay us £3,000 to put a door in. People would lose their damn minds. But because it's a game, everyone finds it perfectly reasonable to pay £40 for, again, that is the price. When people found out it was £40, they dropped the price to 35, I think. They are asking you to pay, no, they're asking you to pay 50, I think, yeah, 50 or 45 for the DLC and another DLC pass. So if you bought the one before, fuck you. The one you buy now is the one that actually matters, and it boggles my mind. I'm looking at it and I'm just like, if Bungie was to come out and say everyone can go fuck themselves, I don't think anyone would bat an eye, because there's this thing about, because they're the guys that made Halo, I think a lot of people give them a lot of leeway. But I am going to say this, and it's going to piss someone off. The only good Halo was maybe Reach. Like, I only liked Reach and ODST. The other Halos can go suck a dick.
I
Like,
liked the first one. I thought that was really well. I didn't like the second one. I thought it was too slow.
the second one's pacing was shit. The first one was alright, but it could have been better. The third one looked awful.
Yeah,
It
I
was just
wasn't.
bad.
It played
Like,
well, but it just didn't look very good.
it was just a bad game. And then you had Halo 4, which is Halo 4. Like, it,
I
it,
really liked Halo 4.
I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it at all. It felt like they were trying to make an action movie out of an action game, and it basically just turned into a really shit adventure game. Like, hey, you can go to, it's like, there's action, action, action. No, I'm just gonna wander for a bit and just shoot things in the head and really not pay attention to anything that's happening. Because if, like, when I try and think back on the Halo story and all that other shit, I can't. Like, the most I remember is that there were these weird alien things called the Flood, and that's about it. Why you would call an alien threat the Flood is beyond me, but alright, cool. It's like, I get it, they're Bungie, they have history, it's cool. But that history should not absolve them from being criticized. It shouldn't absolve them from being held to the coals. Because they have just basically fucked over an entire section of their player base that either can't afford to pay £40 for a DLC, not a game. Again, this is not a standalone game. This does not turn into its own standalone thing. This is just an add-on. You are adding on some shit. £40. That's insane. That shouldn't be a thing. I am not going to go into a bookstore and they're going to be like, oh, we ripped out 7 pages. You're going to have to pay us £20 for the other 7 pages. I'd kill the cashier. Like, no shit, I'd kill the cashier. They'd be murder. Like, it doesn't make sense. In any other, if you say this, if you compare this to any other industry, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. But for some reason, in games, it's become commonplace, and that shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't be okay, but people are just okay with it. And I've said this before. I honestly think the gaming community is just willfully stupid. They are willfully stupid, or they just don't want to bite the hand that gives them nice things. Because they are like there will be outrage in the gaming community for various things, for various like stupid shit, right? People were pissed off at EA for Battlefield 2, for the microtransactions and shit in Battlefield 2, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because you did this to yourself. At what point did you let them know that you didn't want that? At what point did you say, oh no, I don't want any microtransactions in my games? When? When did you say those words? Never. You never said those words, but you expect them to read your mind. You just keep buying packs and doing pack openings and all this other shit, and then you're like, oh, why are there so many microtransactions? Because you buy them. You buy them. You spend millions a year, close to billions a year, on tiny boxes with shit in it. Like, the fuck, man? This makes, like, and then you have Belgium, I think it's Belgium, who are just like, okay, yeah, this is straight up gambling. And I don't understand how it's not, because it's like, I'm gonna give you a box, and we're gonna roll, and I'm gonna give you a box, yeah, and in this box can be anything. Give me money, you get the box, you don't know what's in it. You just gambled on the contents of the box being in your favor. Hence, gambling, you dumb bastards. It's not. How is that difficult? How is that difficult to understand? I don't. When I think about it, when I think about gaming commissions looking at if loot boxes are gambling, I think of like how in Japan, they have pachinko machines
Yeah.
and stuff. It's almost the same thing, where Japan has a big thing on like gambling and whatnot, but pachinko machines are completely fine. And that's why you see a lot of Japanese gaming companies almost fully concentrating on pachinko machines and making pachinko machines, because they bring in a stupid amount of money. And it's almost like, for the West, it's loot boxes. Our thing is loot boxes. It brings in a stupid amount of money and no one's willing to regulate it. And you have Belgium being like, okay, yeah, loot boxes are done. You like, if you bring out a game in Belgium, if you release a game in Belgium, there cannot be any loot boxes within that game. And it's like, now you have EA basically asking people, hey, please talk to your government. Please talk to your local government official, because we're kind of getting fucked. And it's kind of true. You are getting fucked, but it's because you kind of made a fucked up system. And gamers can't sit there and be like, oh, we didn't start this, because you kind of did. You bought the shit, didn't you? You bought everything they sold. I don't know. I look at the gaming industry, and there's so much shit we can do that other industries can't, and we just usually we use those things that we can do to manipulate customers and people who buy games and enthusiasts, because we can, and we know that if they say something, we can just take away what they love, and it's basically extortion. It's basically extortion. No, like seriously, when you think about it, it's basically extortion. Because 100%, think about it. You need this thing for your thing to work, right? So, if you don't give me money, I won't give you the thing, and your thing will not work.
I used to play FIFA a hell of a lot, but I have never once put any real money into the FIFA game thing.
Because you don't have to.
I just don't play the Ultimate Team thing.
Yeah.
I just play like the story mode and do championships and whatnot.
Yeah, but it's like walking past the bookies. You don't have to go in.
Mm.
Just because you walk past the Ladbrokes doesn't mean you have to walk the fuck in. It's the same thing. Just because there are loot boxes in a game doesn't mean you have to buy them.
Yeah, but it's...
No one's telling you to.
I think they're basically saying that certain people get addicted to the sensation, so they're the ones who are most at risk.
And that's the point. If you are afraid of people gambling and like that have an addictive personality, buying loot boxes and getting addicted to that sensation, because that's what loot boxes are there for. Loot boxes are made for you to buy more. I don't care what anyone says. Now, if they are built for you to buy more, well, they are built for you to buy more, and you have an addictive personality, you shouldn't play games with loot boxes. And I think games with loot boxes in them should be 18 plus. Why I'm saying that is, kids have addictive personalities. No matter who this child is, at a certain age you have an addictive personality, because you get addicted to small things all the time as a kid. TV shows, food, playing outside, people. You want everything at a maximum degree as a child. You see what I'm saying? You push everything to its absolute when you're a kid. If a kid is handed a loot box, they will buy as many as possible because they want to feel that sensation that loot boxes give you. That bing and shit pops out. They like that. They're like, woo. And it gives them a feeling of, if I keep doing this, I keep getting this feeling, all I really need to give is money. Next thing you know, they just spend thousands of pounds on these goddamn boxes that basically give them nothing in return.
Yeah, I agree. I think the whole system really needs a proper overhaul.
I think the entire industry needs an overhaul. And I know people aren't gonna like this, but if the industry can't govern itself, because I know we have the ESRB and all sorts of shit, but they're not doing anything. Let's be honest, they're not going to do anything, and they won't. We have Peggy here in the UK. They ain't gonna do shit either.
But the problem
They
with
say they will, but they won't.
Peggy, it's a voluntary process. They don't have to abide to anything.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not government funded. It's actually just
there.
A couple of crappy people sat there going, "Oh, you put this sticker on your game."
But that's what I'm saying. If it's the same thing that happened with movies, it's the same thing that happened with books. If you aren't going to govern yourselves, then you will be governed. It's that simple. And I think that if the gaming industry will not govern itself, because they're not going to. They're making too much money. They are making too much money to govern themselves. It's the same way, like how. Actually, I'm gonna connect this to real world news. I'm gonna connect this to fucking. I'm gonna do a nice little tangent, like a nice little connection, junction, whatever the fuck. When two roads meet, I don't fucking know. Crossroads, I don't know, man. Like, alright, so put it like this. Right now, President Trump, the president of America, is under investigation for being a dick. So, would you put him in charge of his own investigation?
No.
No. Why not? Because we're not fucking idiots. If you put someone who's doing something that they shouldn't be doing in charge of their own investigation, I'm pretty sure the results are gonna say, no, we're not doing anything wrong, I swear. And that's it. So that's what happens. When the gaming industry is told, okay, govern yourselves, when shit like this happens, no one is standing there putting anyone into accountability. Like, I don't like Nintendo, but for God's sake, they're the only people doing shit right. Are you serious? This is what's happening. This is how far it's gone. I am on the same side as Nintendo niggas who sell you cardboard. I'm on their side. How is this happening?
Just to backtrack a little bit there, if anyone's offended by that, Eddie is a black guy.
Oh, if they don't know that by now, I don't know where they've been. If you don't know that by now, I don't know where you've been. But if you don't know, now you know. Look, all I'm saying is, it's either the gaming industry, the entire industry, not one or two companies, no. Every single person in the industry governs themselves, makes themselves accountable, or governments should start stepping in. And I mean pulling funding or giving funding, regulating what games come out, I want them to regulate every goddamn thing. Because put it like this, if the gaming industry can't control itself, then the control should be taken away. Because at this point, they are acting like this because they can. They are treating gamers like this because they can. Not because maybe it's because they're greedy, but it's literally because no one can stop them. Because you always hear that thing of, oh, vote with your wallet. No one does that. No one does that. I don't care what anyone says. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna buy this game. Fuck off. You're gonna buy it. You're not gonna walk into a game store and buy it. You're gonna go buy it digitally and not tell anyone. You bastard. Don't act like you're not gonna buy it. Yeah, sure, fucking right, And then they're gonna say sorry, and you're gonna believe them, and then you're gonna buy their next game. Because let's be honest, everyone knew who EA was. They've been voted the worst company in America 3 times. Let's not pretend like people don't know who they are and what they do, and yet you still bought Battlefront 2 and you thought it was going to be different. Yeah, no. That's not how this works. It's like the gaming community has Stockholm syndrome. That's what I'm equating it to. They've been held hostage for so long. At this point, they just love them. They love it. They love every single part of it. being treated like shit, being treated like they're stupid. Honestly, they're not giving them much evidence that they're not, because oh my god, I'm still like the whole Battlefront 2 thing still kind of messes with me that people thought that the game wouldn't be like that. Like the instant I saw that game, I was like, oh, they're gonna put so much paid shit in that game, even if it's just skins and like weird emotes from Star Wars. Because like Star Wars is about making money. Star Wars has always been about making money.
But
Well,
it is now that Disney's got it.
well, ever since it blew up, it's become a thing of making money. It stopped being, because like you can see it in the movies as well. The movies are less about the story and more about making merchandise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's less like plot driven and story heavy important things, and now this more like, oh, we're gonna put this cute, basically useless animal there, so people say it's cute and they buy plushies. That's it. That's literally it. That's all there is, man. Like,
Well, that's why
fucking
was it BB9, whatever it's called?
yeah, or
It
BB-8 or some shit.
Ah, yeah, it was. I don't know. I've not seen him.
Uh,
I don't watch Star Wars.
he's basically just a shittier version of R2D2.
Yeah.
But like again, it's stupid because again, those fans don't really care. They're just like, it's Star Wars. Okay, sure. But you got real pissed about metachlorians, right? You got real pissed when George Lucas tried to tie it more into science. That's what got you upset.
Metachlorian?
I think it was episode 2, Clone Wars. They tried to, no, episode 1. They basically tried to say that the reason you are strong in the Force is because you have this thing in your blood. These like space things in your blood that basically allow you to tap into it. Now, the whole thing was with that was probably going to be, certain people have it, certain people don't, which is why certain people are Jedi and certain people aren't. Because think about it, if there is no reason why everyone can't be a Jedi, why isn't everyone a Jedi?
I want to be a Jedi.
That's what I'm saying. Why isn't every random motherfucker in the world a Jedi? Because if the Force is in everybody, then everyone has a certain level of the Force. Like, everyone has a certain degree of it, right? So, why isn't everyone a Jedi? Why can't, like, they may not be strong, they may not be useful in any capacity whatsoever, but why isn't everyone a Jedi? Why isn't everyone a Sith? It makes no fucking sense. No matter how you spin it or how you say it, it doesn't make sense. You need to make it make sense. Because just saying, oh, there's Jedi and there aren't, like, shut the fuck up. Seriously, just stop talking. Because this whole thing of, like, Star Wars fans getting upset about shit makes no sense. You're upset about random shit all the time, and none of the shit you're upset about even makes sense. You're upset about a guy trying to make his story make sense. Because it's not the way you would have done it. So, make your own then. Like, literally, make your own multi-billion-dollar movie franchise, and then you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. You can put in a scene where Jar Jar Binks gets decapitated. I don't care. Honestly, I love Jar Jar Binks. He's hilarious as hell. But, like, he was one of the only good things about the prequels. Which, I will say this right now, Episode 3, best Star Wars movie all time. You don't like it, fight me. But, like, 100%. I'm looking at, like, all these different industries and how, and they all seem to be going in the same kind of direction of people are either willfully dismissing the fact that they are being taken advantage of, or they don't want to see it. Like, in We Happy Few, when people take joy,
Yeah.
when they take that drug to make everything look lovely and happy, it's that. It's basically just people going, hey, I'm going to take joy, and I'm just going to pretend everything's fine, and if it's not fine, then I don't care. And that's it. That's all people are doing. Because the gaming industry is not fine. It's not. It's not fine at all. We have an industry where games should be £90 or £80 or some shit. And we have an industry where we are basically okay with being taken advantage of because it's a certain studio or it's a certain game. That doesn't make sense. Ever. Because I get it, you know, this studio has this and da 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 da, but there are still people who make these decisions, right? You still have individuals who are making these decisions and saying that this is a good idea. They know what's going to happen. They know people are going to get upset, but they think to themselves and they say this, and they ask themselves this very simple question: how much money will I lose? And I guarantee you the answer is barely anything. Why? Because barely anything. Like, let's be honest, how much has this hurt EA?
Well,
How much did Battlefront's fiasco hurt EA? Because let's be honest, people bought the game, so that money's there. People bought the loot boxes, so that money's there. People still buy loot boxes. Money's still going to them. Where is the difference? I don't see it. I don't see the difference here. Like, nothing's changed. EA is gonna release their next game. Everyone's gonna buy it. Everyone's gonna be upset because there's microtransactions, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, this isn't right. They shouldn't. Why?" Because it's EA, you dumb bastards. They're a business first, you last. Everyone knows this. They literally just haven't said it out loud, but everyone knows this. That's how businesses work. You can say, "Oh yeah, but they need us. We're the consumer." Fuck you. You can be replaced with another man down the road in a second. You, individually, mean nothing to them. In a group, maybe a little more. But unless the group is a couple hundreds of thousands of people, they don't really give a shit. And even then, I don't think they'll give a shit. Even then, I think they'd probably just be like, that's like 2% of our audience, that's fine. Because you have to look at it. How many people have bought a PS4? Yeah, how many people have bought a PS4 since the time it came out? I think it's like, what, 40 million or something like that?
I think it's about 50 now, I think.
Yeah. So it's like, you have just a PS4 loan, yeah? Just a PS4 loan.
Yeah.
50 million. So imagine, you have 500,000 people saying, we don't want loot boxes. That's like what? 1%?
I don't know, I think everyone says it, but when it comes down to it,
They still buy the shit.
yeah.
Because let's be honest, people are still buying Overwatch loot boxes, no? People are still buying Overwatch loot boxes. So why would anyone stop? Because I get it, it's Blizzard and it's Overwatch and it's good and they're fun and they don't hurt us. But let's be honest, they want your money. Like, just because a stripper says you look nice doesn't mean she means it. It means she wants a bigger tip.
What are you on about?
That's
She
it.
always says she'll look nice.
My God, man. It's true though. Just because they compliment you doesn't mean they love you. It just means they want your money.
But I gave him my credit card and everything. What are you on?
Then you are now bankrupt, and I hope you're very happy with yourself. But it's true. Like, we have this thing. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me in any logical sense. Like, if I try and think about it logically, it doesn't make sense. Why everyone constantly just goes back to the same games and the same companies and the same shit. And like, I started this conversation with Destiny, but it is true. Like, people are basically fine with whatever Destiny says and whatever Destiny does because it's Bungie. It's Bungie, so it's fine. It's Bungie, so it's cool.
But
Like-
I bet if Bungie was still owned by Microsoft, there'd have been a big, massive outcry.
Oh, fuck me. If they were still owned by Microsoft, people would lose their goddamn minds. They'd be like, oh, Microsoft's being greedy. Shut up. Shut up.
Anyway, we'll move off from this sort of topic. I'll talk about 3 games that I've played this year. But
This year.
well, yeah, we haven't done a podcast in a while, have we? Last few
Oh,
months.
fuck.
Um, first game, I really want anyone to email us at contact@oneupgaming.co.uk and tell me what the hell are you supposed to do on a PC game called Starship Corporation. I loaded it up, and that's basically as far as I got. It came onto a screen, and I had no idea what the hell I was doing, just randomly clicking buttons. It was just impossible, absolutely impossible.
Starship Corporation.
Yeah.
What
So
the
I guess it's one of those like 4X strategy space simmy games. You have to build up your ships and do all sorts, and I was completely lost. I should
Yeah, this
maybe
seems like
read instructions.
one of those games where you're gonna need like a couple Excel spreadsheets and a serious like, I don't know. This seems like a lot. This seems like a lot. Well, I wish you good luck because no, fuck that game. That's way too much. That's way too much. That's some serious like simulation type shit.
Yeah, the next game is a racing game called Gravel, and this came out, I don't know if it's the end of last year or the beginning of this year, and it got pretty much middling reviews, and I picked it up on sale for like 15 quid. I love the game. Absolutely love it. It plays similar to like the old sort of Sega Rally sort of thing. I really enjoy it. And the one game that I have to mention is we got sent it to review. I put a quick video up on our YouTube channel, but it's F1 2018. It's probably the best F1 game I've ever played.
Yeah, I've been hearing that.
But yeah, so I would easily say that since Codemasters picked the license up, this is the best game they've made. It's got all the features, everything. The one thing that I wish it would have, and that's, you start off as say like a 10-year-old, and you have to do like the proper go-karts, and you have a full season in there, and then if you do really well, you move up to either a better team, or you can go to a really rubbish Formula 3 sort of team, and you have up until your 17th birthday to try and get into F1. And if you get into F1, you generally have to start off at one of the 3 crap teams, and then you get up until you're 25 to get into one of the good teams. And I just think that sort of career mode, I'd love that.
Oh, so you mean like a proper like progression system type of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be good actually. Because I think FIFA, like something like FIFA, like how FIFA did theirs. With their whole like journey and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think
do
that
they
would be
still
good.
do that?
Yeah.
So I don't think I played last year's one.
Like I think they did. It started with you like going through clearing, like you play as a kid and then you go through clearing and you go
So
through
I
all
played
sorts of stuff.
the first one, and then they did the second one where he gets moved to a bigger club or something stupid. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they doing it on this year's one?
Yeah, this year's one, I think you're getting moved to Real Madrid or something. But that's the thing, like FIFA, Madden, even some golf games, like this, they're starting to have this career mode and actually turning career mode into a story mode. And I think that's really smart because with a lot of companies saying single player or story driven games aren't working or don't sell, if in a multiplayer game, you have a decent to very good career mode, then that's going to be the thing that people play first, and it helps them get into the game. Like, for example, Fight Night. I think the last Fight Night Champions, that was an amazing game and it had a great story mode. And that was one of the best things about that game. That story mode was one of the best things about that game. And I think we're going to see a lot more sports games have that story mode, that career mode, that kind of big drops you in the beginning, drops you in the, you're just starting out or you're a kid or the rest of it, and then you're actually going to play a progression and you're going to move up. Because it's paying off for them a lot more than it would have before.
Like I said, Codemasters did it before with the TOCA Race Driver series. With their story mode and proper cutscenes and that. So I don't know why they don't try and go... Unless the FIA or Formula 1 won't allow them to do that sort of thing. But I don't see why they wouldn't, but you never know. They might just want their license and that's it. So I think it's been like 45 minutes or so. I think that'll do for this episode, Eddie. So I will just sort of say thank you all for listening. Please visit our website at oneupgaming.co.uk. We have a Patreon, which is www.patreon.com/OUG. And you can buy official merchandise from us at bluecyborg.com. Just search One Up Gaming. We have an official album out. It's called... I say official. It's an album with One Up Gaming. We produced it and released it, called Games Inspired Music. Just Google search that or go onto Spotify and add it to your playlist. We also have our first 100 podcasts available to buy at audiobooksontape.com. We have Facebook and YouTube. Just search One Up Gaming. We have an official Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/OUGofficial. You can tweet us at OUGofficial and email us at contact@oneupgaming.co.uk. Please subscribe to this podcast and like the podcast and give it stars and all that the other. And I believe that is about it for episode 227. So thank you, Eddie.
Yes.
And it's been me, David, saying thank you all, and we'll see you soon. So, goodbye.
Hi, my name is Justin. I'm the developer of Per Rocket, an iOS space game with cats. And I listen to the One Up Gaming podcast. You can find a link to download my game at facebook.com/perrocket.
Hi, Justin the Voice here. First of all, we'd like to thank you for listening. Seriously, we really like it when you listen. Yes. But if you'd like to do more than just listen, if you'd like to help us out, well, we have an idea just for you. Visit our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/OUG. Your monthly micropayment will help us keep going all night long, baby. Oh yeah. Mostly because we usually record at night. Yeah. But don't worry, baby. We got something for you, too. We've got special benefits for all of our Patreon subscribers. Yeah. Again, that's www.patreon.com/OUG.